Today's book summary is narrated by Anne George Matthew. You can find details about Anne in description below. Over to Anne.
Hey, today we're going to continue with the book summary of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you haven't seen part 1, check the link in the description below. So let's get started. Continuing with the 4th point, think win-win. In order to establish effective interdependent relationships, we must commit to creating win-win situations that are mutually beneficial and satisfying to each party. Covey explains that there are 6 paradigms of human interaction. First, win-win. Both people win. Agreements or solutions are mutually beneficial and satisfying to both parties. Second, win-lose. If I win, you lose. Win-lose people are prone to use position, power, credentials, and personality to get their way. Third, lose-win. I lose, you win. Lose-win people are quick to please and appease and seek strength from popularity or acceptance. Fourth, lose-lose. Both people lose. When two win-lose people get together, that is when two determined, stubborn, ego-invested individuals interact, the result will be lose-lose. Fifth, win. People with win mentality don't necessarily want someone else to lose. That's irrelevant. What matters is that they get what they want. Sixth, win-win or no deal. If you can't reach an agreement that is mutually beneficial, there is no deal. The best option is to create win-win situations. With win-lose or lose-win, one person appears to get what he wants for the moment, but the result will negatively impact the relationship between those two people going forward. Another important factor is solving for win-win situations is maintaining an abundance mentality or the belief that there's plenty out there for everyone. Most people operate with a scarcity mentality, meaning they act as though everything is zero-sum. In other words, if you get it, I don't. People with a scarcity mentality have a very hard time sharing recognition or credit and find it difficult to be genuinely happy about other people's successes. Key lessons: get yourself to start thinking win-win with these challenges. First, think about an upcoming interaction where you'll be attempting to reach an agreement or solution. Write down a list of what other person is looking for. Next, write a list next to that of how you can offer to meet those needs. Second, identify 3 important relationships in your life. Think about what you feel the balance is needs of those relationships. Do you give more than you take? Take more than you give. Write down 10 ways to always give more than you take with each one. Third, deeply consider your own interaction tendencies. Are they win-lose? How does that affect your interactions with others? Can you identify the source of that approach? Determine whether or not this approach serves you well in your relationships. Write all of this down. Moving on to the 5th habit. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Before we can offer advice, suggest solutions, or effectively interact with another person in any way, we must seek to deeply understand them and their perspective through empathic listening. Let's say you go to an optometrist and tell him that you have been having some trouble in seeing, and he clearly takes off his glasses, hands them to you and says, "Here, try these. They have been working for me for years." You put them on, but the only thing happens is that it worsens your problem. What are the chances that you would go back to the optometrist? Unfortunately, we do the same thing in our everyday interactions. With others, we prescribe a solution before we diagnose the problem. We don't seek to deeply understand the problem first. Habit 5 says that we must seek first to understand, then to be understood. In order to seek to understand, we must learn to listen. To listen empathically requires a fundamental paradigm shift. We typically seek first to be understood. Most people listen with the intent to reply, not to understand. At any given moment, they are either speaking or preparing to speak. After all, Covey points out, communication expert estimates that 10% of our communication is represented by our words, 30% is represented by our sounds, 60% is represented by our body language. When we listen autobiographically, in other words, with our own perspective as our frame of reference, we tend to respond in one of the four ways. First, evaluate, agree or disagree with what is said. Second, probe, ask questions from your own frame of reference. Third, advise, give counsel based on your own experience. Fourth, interpret, try to figure out the person's motives and behavior based on our own motives and behavior. Key lessons. Here are a few ways to get yourself in the habit of seeking first to understand. First, next time you're watching two people communicating, cover your ears and watch. What emotions are being communicated that might not come across through words alone? Was one person or the other more interested in the conversation? Write down what you noticed. Second, next time you give a presentation, root it in empathy. Begin by describing the audience's point of view in great detail. What problems are they facing? How is what you are about to say offering a solution to their problems? Sixth habit, synergize. By understanding the valuing the differences in another person's perspective, we have the opportunity to create synergize, which allows us to uncover new possibilities through openness and creativity. The combination of all the other habits prepares us for habit 6, which is habit of synergize, or when 1 plus 1 is equals 3 or more and the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. For example, if you plant two plants close together, their roots will commingle and improve the quality of the soil so that both the plants will grow better than they would on their own. Synergize allows us to create new alternatives and open new possibilities. It allows us as a group to collectively agree to ditch the old scripts and write new ones. So how can we introduce synergize to given a situation or environment? Start with habits 4 and 5. You must think win-win and seek first to understand. Once you have these in mind, you can pool your desires with those of other person or group. And then you're not on opposite sides of the problem. You're together on one side, looking at the problem, understanding all the needs and working to create the third alternative that will meet them. What we end up with is not a transaction, but a transformation. Both sides get what they want and they build their relationship in the process. Synergy allows you to value the differences in other people as a way to expand your perspective, sidestep negative energy and look forward for the good in others. Exercise courage in the interdependent situations to be open and encourage others to be open. Catalyze creativity and find a solution that will be better for everyone by looking for the third alternative. Key lessons. First, make a list of people who irritate you. Now, choose just one person. How are their views different? Put yourself in their shoes for a minute. Think and pretend how it feels to be them. Does this help you understand them better? Now, next time you're in a disagreement with a different person, try to understand their concerns and why they disagree with you. The better you can understand them, the easier it will be to change their mind or change yours. Second, make a list of people with whom you get along. Now choose just one person. How are their views different? Now write down a situation where you had excellent teamwork and synergy. Why? What conditions were met to reach such fluidity in your interactions? How can you recreate those conditions again? Moving on to the seventh habit, sharpen the saw. To be effective, we must devote the time of renewing ourselves physically, spiritually, mentally, and socially. Continuous renewal allows us to synergistically increase our ability to practice each habit. There are 4 dimensions of our nature, and each must be exercised regularly and in balanced ways. Physical dimension. The goal of continuous physical improvement is to exercise our body in a way that will enhance our capacity to work, adapt, and enjoy. To renew ourselves physically, we must eat well, get sufficient rest and relaxation, exercise on a regular basis to build endurance, flexibility, and strength. Spiritual dimension. The goal of renewing our spiritual self is to provide leadership to our life and reinforce your commitment to your values system. To renew yourself spiritually, you can practice daily meditation, communicate with nature, immerse yourself in great literature or music. Social or emotional dimension. The goal of renewing ourselves socially is to develop meaningful relationships. To renew yourself emotionally, you can seek to deeply understand other people, make contributions to meaning projects that improve the lives of others, maintain an ambitious mentality, and seek to help others find success. Key lessons: make a list of activities that would help you renew yourself along with each of the 4 dimensions. Select one activity for each dimension and list it as a goal for the coming week. At the end of the week, evaluate your performance, what led you to succeed or fail to accomplish each goal. Second, commit to writing down a specific sharpen the saw activity in all 4 dimensions every week to do them and to evaluate your performance and results. Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for latest updates.